Next on ABC7's Good Morning El Paso weekend, deadly storms slamming parts of eastern Texas, bringing heavy rains, destroyed roads, and grief for the families affected. More developments on the Carnival accident that left a teen girl dead in the borderland. ABC7 confirming the identity of victim as friends react. And a new month brings a new occasion to protest. It's happening around the country and the world for May Day. And storm track weather, Iris.
Winds are starting to pick up. I can let you know when those winds are going to calm down, if they're going to calm down today, coming up.
This is all the news you need to start your Sunday, May 1st. ABC7's Good Morning El Paso weekend starts right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso weekend.
Well, good morning, El Paso, and thank you for joining us. I'm Andrew J.Polk. We start with some breaking news this morning. Police are investigating a possible shooting in north central El Paso. Happened on the 4000 block of Tompkins at Nations. That's near Fort Bliss. Details are limited at this time. El Paso police officers and detectives have cordoned off an area in front of the Turn Lounge at a hair salon, but would not give us any details on the scene. Police reported it happened just after 6 this morning. We're working to find out more details, so stay with us on air and online as we work to get the latest details. And a 6th death is confirmed in Palestine, Texas, where that town is getting slammed with storms. Authorities say they have found a 6th body following flash flooding in that East Texas town that also killed a woman and her 4 great-grandchildren. More than 7 inches of rain fell in less than an hour late Friday evening, swamping a neighborhood and forcing some people under their roofs. The Red Cross set up a makeshift shelter in Palestine, which is about 100 miles southeast of Dallas and home to about 18,000 residents. Between 20 and 30 people were directly displaced by the floods. According to a Red Cross spokeswoman, Palestine police report about 35 homes sustained major damage and businesses in low-lying areas were flooded. So getting to our Storm Track weather now, let's get your first forecast with Storm Tracker Iris Lopez. Good morning, Iris.
Good morning, Andrew. A good Sunday morning to you all. A windy Sunday at that. Those winds are already picking up. Right now we're going to take a live look. Take a look at that. This is on the west side of town. This is courtesy of the camera on our ABC7 roof. Very windy already. When I walked out my door earlier, those winds were already picking up, and they're going to continue throughout the day. Look at this, those gusts in the 20s pretty much all across War Eagles Air Museum and here at the KVIA studios. Those temperatures are cool. 54 El Paso, 55 Las Cruces, sunny skies, but because of those winds, it's going to make it feel a lot cooler than what it really is. So if you're going to head out to church or grandma and grandpa's house, take that jacket with you and just keep in mind it's going to be very windy out there, so bundle up those kiddos. Day planner, we're going to have that slight chance of rain in your forecast for 9 o'clock all the way up until 4 o'clock. Winds, they're just not going to go anywhere throughout your afternoon up until your 6 o'clock hour. This is what you can expect heading outside. As I mentioned, take that sweater. Expect winds and later on expect those cooler temperatures as well. We'll talk about those winds hour by hour, windcast and raincast coming up. Andrew?
Thanks, Iris. Check back in just a bit. In the meantime, though, church services are set to resume today, but now community is coming together in mourning, trying to cope with a death at what was supposed to be a fun family carnival. 3 teen girls were riding the Sizzler at a carnival at St. Thomas Aquinas Church when 2 were thrown from the ride. One of them was tragically killed, the other critically injured. ABC7 confirmed with the Ysleta Independent School District that the teen killed was a student at J.M. Hanks High School. A district spokesman tells us the teen was Sam Aguilar. These are pictures from friends of the young girl who was killed. Friends say she was 16 years old and on the track and field team. District officials say they are gathering the facts at this time and will have counselors on hand for students tomorrow. ABC7 Jerry Nahara has more on this developing story.
On Saturday, we were at St. Thomas Aquinas Church, and we did not see any agencies investigating the scene. While church services went on as normal, the carnival was shut down. Police telling us this is still under investigation. Carnival grounds are usually filled with laughter, people, and flashing lights. What was supposed to be a 3-day celebration for children turned deadly. Come Friday night, the church was eerily quiet. The celebration canceled. The only flashing lights Friday were from police cars.
You know, when you receive a phone call like this, you really kind of hope that you guys have gotten the information wrong. To be perfectly honest, I just thought there's no way that this really happened. Certainly if somebody got injured, okay. You know, I can tell you that having had the opportunity to speak with Father Ed, he is crushed.
Even police took a pause to deliver the news.
JM officers were dispatched here along with the fire department. 3 teenage females.
The 3 girls were on this ride, the Sizzler. 2 girls were ejected from their seats. One was treated for a bump on the head. The other, Sam Aguilar, slammed into a metal barrier. She died at Del Sol Medical Center. The news of the death was heart-wrenching for many, especially for those at St. Thomas Aquinas.
You know, I can tell you that having had the opportunity to speak with Father Ed, he is crushed. He loves this community, and he was doing this for the community as an event for children. So to see that a young girl has been killed and one has been injured, it's devastating.
Police are now investigating the company who owns the ride, Las Cruces-based Playtime Amusements. Officials couldn't say whether the ride malfunctioned or if there was an operator error. The company didn't return calls for comment. Bishop Mark Seitz issued the following statement Saturday, saying he was deeply saddened by the accident. When such a joyful event turns tragic, the pain of the loss is even greater. The Diocese of El Paso deeply regrets this terrible loss. Words are incapable of expressing our sorrow at the death of this young girl. We know that no words will alleviate her family's pain, but we will ask our merciful God to do through prayer what words are incapable of doing, bringing consolation in the midst of this sorrow. Friends are planning on having a remembrance on Monday at J.M. Hanks High School for Aguilar and are encouraging everyone to wear red in honor of Sammy. Reporting for Good Morning El Paso Weekend, I'm Jerry Nájera.
And ABC7 spoke with an official with the New Mexico Regulation and Licensing Department. They tell us all amusement rides are inspected annually by a national inspector. Yesterday, we called the company who provided the rides at the church, Playtime Amusements, but they did not return our calls. We've also visited a listed address, but no office was found there. In Texas, the Texas Department of Insurance regulates amusement park rides. Mobile operators that travel are required to inspect their rides daily to make sure rides are working correctly, and they must keep a record of that daily inspection. Friday's overnight crash ends with a woman in jail. Police say that the woman was drunk and accidentally ran a man over. It all happened about 1 a.m. on the 1100 block of San Marcial in central El Paso Saturday morning. Police say the two had just left a bar. According to police, a 60-year-old man was opening the door for 51-year-old Kathy Perry, then helped her get into her truck. They say he was walking around the back when Perry put the truck in reverse and hit him. Perry immediately got out to help him, but she forgot to put the truck in park. She too was run over by the truck. Police say the man was taken to University Medical Center where he died. Perry was treated for minor injuries and was arrested after being released. She's now charged with intoxication manslaughter. Police have not released her arrest photo. The man's name will be released once his next of kin is notified. Well, April is over, so for millions across the world, it's now May Day. Some countries celebrate it as hope for a warm summer days ahead, while others dedicate it to Workers' Day. In the U.S. this year, May Day is expected to be marked with protests. Thousands are expected to rally in cities across the country for immigrant and workers' rights and against what they see as a hateful presidential campaign rhetoric. Events are planned for today in cities from New York to Miami to Cleveland and Los Angeles. In the U.S., the annual event has become a rallying point for immigration since massive demonstrations in 2006 against a proposed immigration enforcement bill. And William D. Billy Abraham responds to the city. According to our news partners at El Paso Inc., last week the city voted to fine Abraham $2.1 million, an effort that extends back at least 6 years. The action followed a city investigation that uncovered dangerous conditions in the downtown building, American Furniture Company. Abraham emailed a statement to the El Paso Inc. saying, quote, "I am ready, willing, and able to cooperate with the city I love." At Wednesday's meetings, inspectors described the conditions in the building as deplorable. They showed commissioners photos of mold, leaking sewage, and piles of, quote, highly combustible, end quote, materials. The DMD board, which includes some of downtown's biggest investors and property owners, has no code enforcement power, but will discuss the issue on May 26th. For more on this story, pick up your copy of this week's El Paso Inc. Other stories in this issue, only in the El Paso Inc., include why the latest healthcare company to open in El Paso wants to be your go-to clinic for everyday medical matters, and how the county hopes to build heritage tourism, and what's the fate of the Coliseum. El Paso Inc. is online at KVIA.com and available for home and business delivery. Call the number there at the bottom of your screen, 534-4422, to subscribe. As we quickly head into summer, there's one last part of spring cleaning that still might need to be done in your house, disposing of old medications properly. It's very important. And yesterday, the DEA and El Paso Sheriff's Office hosted Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. It's meant to help everyone get rid of unused, unwanted, or expired prescriptions. For the past 5 years, the DEA has been able to take in over 2,700 tons of prescription drugs. That's a lot of pills. The initiative is nationwide and saving lives.
It enables, as you know, we're going through an epidemic in regards to opiate use or prescription drug abuse, and this is a way to get them out of the homes or wherever they may be, so they can't be abused and resold, and that's what's great about this initiative.
The DEA holds prescription take-backs twice a year. The next one will be this fall. Click on this story on KVIA.com for more information. Like we've been saying, severe weather continues to slam the Gulf Coast. Coming up on Good Morning El Paso weekend, how that's affecting major events even where there isn't flooding. And later, police on the hunt for a suspected gunman after he opens fire at people in church. It is 8:11 right now, taking a live look at traffic this morning. I-10 in Yarborough, but that I-10 Lee Trevino camera we're just looking at, you can see the shake there. A lot of those winds out in the borderland, but traffic for the moment moving along just fine. I-10 in Hawkins, not looking like much there, but you're seeing that camera shake even more. So in storm track weather, Iris.
I'm going to have your exclusive windcast as well as your hour-by-hour windcast, so you can know what to expect coming up.
You're watching ABC 7, and news comes first.